Hello students. So now we are going to start the chapter number 5 of civics, that is judiciary. So in this chapter we are going to understand the importance of the third organ of our government, that is judiciary. We all know that there are three organs of the government: legislature, executive and judiciary. So judiciary has a very important role to play for a smooth running of the administration in our country. So our first topic is the what is the role of judiciary? What are the various functions played by the judiciary in our country? So we will discuss dispute resolution, then judicial review, then upholding the law and the protection of the fundamental rights as well as the protection of our constitution. These are some of the very important functions which are played by the judiciary. Then we will talk about the independence of judiciary, how we ensure the freedom of our judiciary. Then we will understand in the next topic the structures of the courts functioning in India: Supreme Court, then High Court, and then the lower courts or district courts. So we will understand that. At the same time, we will also see some of the very important cases which were dealt by the judiciary time to time. Few cases have been mentioned here and how they had been tackled. That will be discussed here. And then we are going to understand the judicial system at the local or district level. At the district level, our courts are divided in two parts: the criminal courts and the civil courts. That we will discuss. And in the end, we are going to discuss very important case filed by MKSS Mazdoor Kisan Shakti Sangathan, which led to the our scheme or which led to the ration cards for the BPL families and surety of the food. Then also we will see the weaknesses related to the judiciary, particularly overload on judiciary. So these are the topics, and finally we are going to cover the exercise related to this chapter. So here we start. So now we have to understand, in the past when the king had the central power, at that time the words of the kings were taken as the laws. That means the legislative powers were with the kings. He decided the laws. Then whatever was the order of the king, that were obeyed by all the ministers and all the people. Again, it means the executive powers were also lying with the king, and the king was the supreme in any kingdom. That's why whatever were the complaints of the people and the ministers were there, that were resolved by the king. So here he was playing the role of judicial power or judiciary. So king had the legislative power because he was law making authority. His words were law. He had executive powers because whatever he used to say, that were fulfilled by the ministers and all the army. And he had the judicial power. He would decide what was right or what was wrong. But with the passage of time, we had replaced this monarchy system with the democratic system. And in democracy, the power came in the hands of the people, and they executed this power through their voting. And now they decided who would be the rulers of the people, and they would rule for a certain period of time. So in this modern democracy, now powers were not given to one person, one center, but it was divided among the three bodies, different bodies, that is legislative, executive and judiciary. So that is very important point of democracy, because in democracy, powers are not given to one institution, but they are divided among the three organs: legislature, executive and judiciary, and they keep a check on the power of each other. So now we have understood the importance of all three organs, and we have already discussed the previously the two organs, legislature and executive. Now we start the judiciary. So judiciary plays a very important role. So what is the role of judiciary in any democracy? Particularly, we are here focusing the role of judiciary of India. So judiciary has a very important role to play. It plays certain functions. What are these functions? कौन कौन से काम करती है judiciary? पहला काम dispute resolution. If there is any dispute, that will be resolved by the judiciary. So these disputes are like, if there is dispute between the two citizens of our country, then it will be resolved by the judiciary. Or if there is a dispute between the two states, like state like Haryana and Punjab, the government of Haryana and Punjab, they are at dispute over any issue, then again it will be resolved by the judiciary or our court system. Both the governments will approach to the court, and the court will decide who is right or who is wrong. And then third one is the dispute between central government and state governments. So in a federal system where two level of governments work, like in our country, one is the government for entire country, that is central government, and then each state has a separate government. So there are full possibilities that on one issue or another issue, the central government can have dispute with the state government or more than one state governments. So if there is a dispute between the central government and the state government or governments, then again judiciary resolve these disputes. So they will approach to the court, approach to the Supreme Court, and then the Supreme Court will take the decision after hearing the entire case. So we have now understood the how judiciary resolve the disputes between various people or various institutions. So let's move to the second point. So this second point, judicial review, explains the second important role played by our judiciary, our courts, that is the interpreter of our constitution as well as the protector of our constitution. So whatever has been written in our constitution, that will be interpreted by the judiciary. That means कि our constitutional language is very tough. Common people cannot understand it. What is the meaning? What is the message of this language? That will be explained by the judiciary, particularly Supreme Court and High Court. And at the same time, it will also protect our constitution, because if any law passed by central government or state government goes against the constitution, that will be cancelled by the judiciary. So now moving to the third and fourth point, which are given us together: upholding the law and enforcing the fundamental rights. So Supreme Court protects our fundamental rights, not Supreme Court but our judiciary. And if our fundamental rights are violated by any government, any new law passed by the government, then that will be cancelled by the judiciary. So judiciary protects our fundamental rights as well as uphold the laws, that whatever the laws has been mentioned in our constitution, that should be properly followed. So now we are moving to the next page, and this is giving you the exercise. You have to find out the examples like dispute between center and the state. Any one case where there was a dispute between center and state, any case where the dispute was there between the two states, or any example where the dispute was between the two citizen or citizen versus the state. So you have to find it out. I will also help you out in this search, but first you have to take the initiative. Now we are moving to this next topic on this page, that is, what is an independent judiciary. So, an independent judiciary plays a very important role for a successful democracy, because judiciary will take care of the rights of the people, will also take care of the constitution of the country, will also watch whether the laws made by the legislature and executives are up to the mark, or whether they are violating the constitution. If they are violating, then the judiciary will cancel it. So now you can easily think, if judiciary is under the pressure of the government, under the pressure of the prime minister or president or ministers, then they will never give any decision against the government. So the judiciary's independence is very crucial. And how we can make our judiciary independent? That is only when we are making a procedure through which the judges who are appointed as judge, they are appointed freely, and once they are appointed, then no government can put the pressure on the judges for the transfer or for suspending them from their jobs. And our constitution has give such powers to the judicial system that they do not come under the pressure of the government. So independence of judiciary is ensured. And when the judges are free, they are not under the pressure of the government, only then they can give decisions against the government also, if the government is doing something wrong. So now we have covered this topic also, and we will move to the next topic, the structure of the courts or judiciary in India, in our next video. Thank you for watching the video.